Do you know the story of the Peloponnesian War? This was a battle for the ages, where two ancient giants clashed over power and influence. On one side stood Athens, a rising star full of ambition, and on the other Sparta, a stronghold of tradition and military might. This war was a turning point in history, shaping the politics and culture of ancient Greece, because politics, alliances, and the struggle for dominance fueled this war. Athens, with its booming navy and democratic ideals, sought to expand its influence, while Sparta, a land-based powerhouse known for its disciplined warriors, fought to protect its way of life. So in this video, we'll dive into the battles that defined the war, from the naval clashes to the siege of cities. We'll also look at how this war didn't end with the final battle. It left deep scars on Greek society, and lessons that echo even today. Now, without wasting your time, let's start the journey. Before that, I just have one thing to say. Stay until the end to understand the story clearly. This story starts in 478 BC, when Athens led the creation of the Delian League, an alliance of Greek city-states aimed at defending against Persian aggression. This coalition, comprising between 150 and 330 members, provided security and also elevated Athens' status and influence. Meanwhile, Sparta headed the Peloponnesian League, established around 550 BC, which included various city-states in the Peloponnese region. As both leagues expanded their reach, tensions grew, making a clash between these powerful alliances increasingly likely. The First Peloponnesian War erupted as a result, lasting from 460 to 445 BC. This 15-year conflict saw Athens and Sparta, along with their respective allies, battling for dominance. The war concluded with the signing of the 30 Years' Peace in 445 BC, which was intended to maintain harmony between the two powers. However, this peace was short-lived. By 437 BC, hostilities resumed, leading to the outbreak of the Second Peloponnesian War in 431 BC. A contributing factor was a civil war in Epidamnus, which drew in Corinth, a Spartan ally. Corinth's involvement escalated tensions, eventually dragging Sparta and Athens back into conflict. In 433 BC, tensions between Greek city-states were rising. Corcyra, a powerful naval state, sought an alliance with Athens, arguing that war with Sparta was inevitable and that Athens would benefit from their combined naval strength. After much debate, Athenian leader Pericles agreed to a defensive alliance, sending 10 ships to support Corcyra against Corinthian aggression. This decision led to the Battle of Sibota, where Corcyra's 110 ships, bolstered by the Athenian contingent, faced Corinth's fleet of 150 ships. The battle was intense and chaotic, with both sides suffering significant losses. Corcyra lost 70 ships, while Corinth lost 30. The arrival of additional Athenian ships prompted the Corinthians to retreat, preventing a Corinthian invasion of Corcyra. Athens, anticipating further conflict with Corinth, began strengthening its military presence in the region. Despite this, Sparta was initially reluctant to engage in war. However, persistent pressure from Corinth eventually persuaded Sparta to take action, even though this decision was unpopular among some of Sparta's allies. In an effort to avoid open conflict, Sparta sent 3 delegations to Athens, proposing terms that could be seen as betraying Corinth. However, these proposals clashed with Pericles' strategy, leading Athens to reject them. The rejection of peace efforts set the stage for the Peloponnesian War, a protracted and destructive conflict that would engulf the Greek world. The first decade of the Peloponnesian War, known as the Archidamian War, 431 to 421 BC, was marked by a series of invasions and strategic maneuvers. Spartan king Archidamus II led multiple invasions into the region of Attica, aiming to weaken Athens by destroying its farmland and forcing Athenians to abandon their rural homes. In response, the Athenians, under the leadership of Pericles, adopted a defensive strategy, avoiding direct confrontation and instead utilising their superior naval fleet to conduct raids along the Peloponnesian coast. During this period, Athens faced a devastating plague in 430 BC, which claimed the lives of nearly 2/3 of its population, including the prominent general Pericles. This catastrophic event significantly weakened Athens both militarily and politically, leading to a power vacuum and internal strife. Despite these challenges, the Spartans experienced mixed success in their military campaigns, with notable defeats in western Greece and at sea. In 421 BC, both Athens and Sparta, weary from prolonged conflict, agreed to a truce known as the Peace of Nicias, named after the Athenian general who negotiated it. The treaty aimed to last 50 years, but lasted only 6, as it was undermined by ongoing conflicts and rebellions among various allies. During this brief period of peace, both city-states engaged in diplomatic efforts to strengthen their positions, but the underlying tensions remained unresolved, setting the stage for the resumption of hostilities in the years that followed. In 415 BC, Athens launched a significant military campaign known as the Sicilian Expedition, aiming to expand its influence by capturing the city of Syracuse in Sicily. This decision was influenced by the belief that controlling Syracuse would provide strategic advantages and resources to support Athens' ongoing conflict with Sparta. The Athenian fleet, under the command of generals Nicias, Alcibiades and Lamachus, set sail with a formidable force. The initial expeditionary force included approximately 134 triremes, 5,100 hoplites, heavily armed infantry, 480 archers, and 700 slingers. Despite early successes, the campaign faced significant challenges, including internal political conflicts and strategic miscalculations. In 413 BC, Athens sent reinforcements to support the expedition, bringing the total number of ships to 73 triremes. However, the situation deteriorated as the Syracusans, aided by Spartan general Gylippus, mounted a strong defence. The Athenian forces suffered a decisive defeat, with nearly the entire fleet destroyed or captured. This loss significantly weakened Athens' naval power and morale. The failure of the Sicilian expedition marked a turning point in the Peloponnesian War, leading to increased instability within Athens and emboldening its enemies. This setback underscored the challenges of overextension and the complexities of military strategy in ancient warfare. The Peloponnesian War, lasting from 431 to 404 BC, was a significant conflict between Athens and Sparta, two of ancient Greece's most powerful city-states. The war concluded with Sparta's victory, leading to a shift in the balance of power in Greece. During the war, Athens initially experienced several naval victories, maintaining its dominance at sea. However, the tide turned when Sparta, with financial and military support from the Persian Empire, built a formidable navy. Under the leadership of General Lysander, Sparta's naval forces achieved a decisive victory over the Athenian fleet at the Battle of Aegospotami in 405 BC. This defeat effectively crippled Athens' naval capabilities. Following this loss, Athens was unable to defend itself against the Spartan siege. Facing starvation and internal strife, Athens surrendered to Sparta in 404 BC, marking the end of the war. This outcome led to the fall of Athens' empire and a temporary period of Spartan hegemony in Greece. This war had profound effects on ancient Greece. Athens, once a dominant city-state, suffered significant losses during the conflict. The war led to widespread destruction, economic hardship, and a decline in political stability. After the war, Athens was absorbed into the Spartan Empire. The city-state experienced a period of oligarchic rule under the 30 Tyrants, a pro-Spartan government installed by Lysander, the Spartan general. This regime was short-lived, and democracy was restored in 403 BC. Despite the restoration of democracy, Athens never regained its former power. The war had weakened the Greek city-states, making them vulnerable to external threats. Less than a century later, in 338 BC, the Macedonian king Philip II conquered Greece, ending the era of independent Greek city-states. What do you think was the biggest turning point in the Peloponnesian War? Was it Athens' defeat in Sicily or Sparta's naval victory at Aegospotami? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in our next video. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.